Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We continue with our series in the month of Ramadan. The Prophet ﷺ is reported to have said on the strength of Ubadah bin Samit, and in this hadith the Prophet ﷺ is speaking about Laylatul Qadr, and he's telling the Sahaba, he's informing the Sahaba that hiya fi shahr Ramadan, that Laylatul Qadr, it occurs in the month of Ramadan in the last 10 days. And then the Prophet ﷺ begins to describe when exactly in the last 10 days. So he said on the 21st, on the 23rd, on the 25th, on the 27th, and the 29th. أو آخر ليلة من Ramadan, or the last night of the month of Ramadan. So من قام احتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. So whoever has stood ihtisaban, with the hope of Allah's forgiveness, then his sins will be forgiven. His past sins will be forgiven, and whatever sins he makes, whatever mistakes he makes in the future as well, they too will be forgiven, provided they are minor sins. So Ramadan is all about forgiveness. When we really look at the month of Ramadan, we see that Rasulullah ﷺ has declared, Man qama Ramadan iman wa ihtisaban, that whoever stood in the month of Ramadan with iman wa ihtisaban, with the hope of Allah's forgiveness and favor, then his past sins are forgiven. And then we have another hadith which is exclusive to Laylatul Qadr, that whoever has stood on the night of Qadr with iman, with conviction, wahtisaban, with the hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's favor will shower upon them, then that person's past sins will be forgiven. So this is what the month of Ramadan is all about. It's all about forgiveness, and to attain the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to attain the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to make dua to Allah as much as possible in the month of Ramadan. And as I've mentioned a few days ago, if we cannot attain the forgiveness of Allah in the month of Ramadan, then when else are we going to be forgiven? Meaning that this is what the month of Ramadan is for. The month of Ramadan is for forgiveness. If we can't attain that, then what have we attained? So we should make dua every iftar, that, oh Allah, you forgive our sins. And I've mentioned the dua that Aisha radiallahu anha was taught by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that, oh Allah, I ask you with your mercy, which encompasses everything, that you forgive me. Very simple dua to ask, and very easy dua to remember before we partake in our iftar, before we break our fast. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq and understanding. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.